Analysis. Here we go.
Move one of the mics up towards you. Most at least that one.
I assume we're gonna take turns for this, so I'm just gonna put this here.
Well, we'll see how well this goes.
Author, Simpson, transcribed from voice recorder. Age, Garrison. Date, 11/12/2001 through 6/4/2. Multiple trips. Okay, one thing seems immediately obvious. This place was built for security. No one could write a link anywhere in this place or the next. It was obviously a maintainer facility of some kind, and it doesn't seem that it was for general guild members. By that, I mean it was limited to at least the higher ranking members. As to how they got the first link written here, I don't know. Probably while it was under construction. It does seem pretty obvious that it's not going to happen again unless something major happens to this place. I would say that Kadama has some theories about the age that have held up so far. May have been a spherical forces of sort for the maintainers. Oh, special forces. Started later, mid-8000s, became somewhat of a research and development arm for the Maintainers Guild. I don't know. Worth mentioning, though, there are quite a few mentions of such groups in other docs Kadama has found, or at least seen.
And Trent, you want me to go?
Sure.
I'll go.
To begin with, I'd wager that the new one is there.
Try to make it so we can at least understand
ranking, a high ranking government official or similar. Similar?
At least make it so we can understand you.
Tell me when you can understand my accent. Can you similar? Similar?
Sure. It's similar.
Similar. It is similar. It is a similar. Forget it.
So much for our French audience.
It is a similar. Okay. Yeah, I could do a Russian. No, I can't do a Russian. Okay, whatever. To begin with, I would. Oh, maybe I'm British. To begin with, I'd wager that I'd wager that no one other than a high-ranking government official or similar ever even made it to this room. That's just my guess, but it seems pretty sound. I don't think any school buddies or girlfriends dropped by to see what their maintainer friend, the linking book we found, was deep within the Maintainer Guild. That sentence I read correctly and doesn't make sense.
No, there's a period.
I don't think
any school buddies or girlfriends drop by to see the maintainer friend.
Comma.
No, period.
Oh, maintainer.
See their friend maintainer. Their maintainer friend.
Period. The linking book we found was deep within the Maintainer Guild. I'm sure it was well guarded in its day.
Okay, so, before we go any further, the Maintainer Guild. Maintainer Guild, so the way that the D&E culture worked is every task in all of D&E were delegated to different guilds. You even had a caterer guild, where if you needed food to be catered somewhere, that was what the caterer guild did. An entire guild to that. The Maintainer Guild was one of the more important ones, but they didn't really do any work. They were in charge of making sure the linking books stayed together, and they also kind of finished up major projects, is what they did. This is all just from having read the first part of the second Myst book. That's what I've gotten so far.
Central planning of the Soviet Union?
I don't know enough about the Soviet Union to say yes or no.
It sounds more like just a maintenance division.
Not just this. Is their whole societal layout from what you're describing close to that?
I don't know enough about Soviet culture to say yes.
I would say more of a merchant republic. Like, you've got all the guilds that run everything related to their specific group.
Mhm.
There may be one or two people who head the whole thing, but
And
I didn't
in
know
fact,
if they
sounds
said
like-
you're doing this. This is your job. You're
And-
doing this. This is your
so
job.
it sounds like more of artisans just saying, I can run this the best out of anyone else.
Yeah.
And so they
And
run
so,
their
so
specific thing.
at the topmost level, you had the council. I think it had 8 members, and the 8 members of that were just the highest ranking members of the 8 most important guilds. And then each guild would have masters of that guild, and there could be multiple masters within a guild. And then you'd have like one grandmaster of that guild. And that grandmaster, I don't think grandmaster is the correct term, but that's what I'm
That's
going to
fine.
use.
Remember that video.
And then, if that grandmaster is one of the 8, he would be on the council.
Yeah.
And Denis lived to be like over 300 years old. Another reason they're dwarvish. Also, more evidence that they're dwarvish. Guess what? The first 50 pages of the second Myst book is about. Just guess. Just take a...
Tunneling.
Yes.
Okay.
The first 50 pages is
you know,
dedicated...
for how much you hated all of the Lord of the Rings books because of their like massive amounts of writing on useless topics.
Uh-huh.
I feel like this must be killing you.
It's certainly not the most riveting story I've ever read.
You can see right off the bat that the entrance was extremely secure. Thick walls, one door, a high window, sniper, maybe. If you manage to get in with a bomb or something, it's not going to do any noticeable damage. I love the maintainer symbol on the floor and everywhere else you look, as though I might forget and wonder where I am. Waiting room. So, visitors are escorted into this little waiting room. There's a window on one side, looks almost like a ticket window. Maybe turn in weapons or goods that aren't allowed. Maybe books. I'm sure they didn't want books in here. Yeah, looks like mainly for books. There is another ticket window on the other side, although this one looks different. I'm pretty sure these are beetle cages on the other side.
Okay, so the
Those
entrance
are
there.
beetle
What
cages.
room is the entrance?
I don't know. Oh gosh.
Oh,
What are you doing?
no.
I'm just seeing how long this
Oh.
is. This is very long.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna
I
have
think
to.
we'll have to read this
Nah.
off screen, maybe.
Nah,
or-
No, they've said they want to see us read, so
We're
going.
gonna show you
so-
we can read.
I'm,
All right.
I'm just
if
going.
They want to see it.
I'm just going to power through this.
All right.
Okay.
I can't. There. I just took a guess.
Beetles that sought out ink. Somebody was just telling me there are all kinds of references to them in other docs. You didn't make it past this room with the book. As well, the doors never open at the same time, so even if somehow you make it out of the entrance room, you're still not going to make it past these mammoth doors out of the waiting area. The halls. Looks like the hall ran along the entire circumference of the building. Not technically a circumference, I don't think. There are plenty of rooms. I'll just try to hit them one at a time. First is an elevator, though. However, it looks like it's only down. Wonder if it was always that way. More security, I guess. Once you've made it into the halls, there's still nowhere to go, at least if they didn't want you going anywhere. Lockers. I would think that any books that were brought to this age were kept in the lockers. I'd imagine that some of the workers here or frequent visitors also kept some equipment, but I could be wrong on that. Looks like they kept some maintainer gear as well. Markers, helmets, etc. Seems a little out of place, honestly. KIs? Okay, things are becoming a little more clear now. Just had a long chat with Laxman and researched some different docks over in the city that Nick had. Looks like the current condition I'm seeing was not the original condition. The KI was a major development, not just for the guild, but also apparently for all citizens. Turns out they were just starting to hand out the KIs to the public around the time of the fall. Nice timing. So it looks like they had done some renovations in order to facilitate the mass amounts of visitors that would be coming in order to retrieve KIs. Turns out my little girlfriend analogy was pretty much completely wrong. Girlfriends and more were going to start coming here, at least to the open sections. Kadama corrected me. We've actually found multiple books in the neighborhoods, as well as the guarded maintainer book I mentioned earlier. Whoops! So visitors come in, walk through the doors, beetles check for books, and they walk down the halls into the KI room, get a KI, and link out. Guards were probably at the up elevator, which is just behind this room. If they did happen to bring any illegal items, they get them back from the other side of the locker room, and off they go back home with the new shiny KI, with their new shiny KI. So, ink-seeking beetles is their security system.
Man, that's a great technology.
It's just, I'm sure all of the Denis were just very pleased that they would have beetles just crawling on them.
What amazes me, even more than that, is they managed to. Their handwriting was so good that they managed to make it look like print on lined paper.
I assume. Oh,
That's very true.
yeah. I assumed this was printed, but I don't know. So I think.
Why does it line notebook paper?
I don't know. I think the KIs were the hand device that we just got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's when we got it. There was a sign that said, pick up your KI.
That was your starter kit.
Yeah.
Did they
No,
call
there was a thing that
Okay.
said link to this world to get your KI.
Okay.
That was the world we were in.
Okay. Next. Makes more sense as to why the maintainer paraphernalia was in the locker rooms too. Probably in a little display type thing for all visitors. Impress them. Warehouse. Quite a bit of goodies in here, all of which I'm sure most visitors never saw. Pretty bad cave-in from the floor above, although Edinburgh says structurally the place seems alright. He's doing more detailed inspection soon. Looks like most of these crates are filled with KI maintenance type equipment, as well as a variety of spare parts, etc. I don't know. Laxman will have to give this place a good inspection. I'm sure he'll love going through it all. Beyond me, I know that. Beetle cages. Convenient cave-in. Not sure how one is supposed to get in the beetle cages without it. No idea how they did it. Link, maybe. Regardless, pretty positive the cages were for beetles. Symbols on the front and quite a bit of remnants in some of the dirtier cages. We'll have to clean those up. Wonder when they all died. Speaking of access, another question. How did they get to the second floor? Elevator skipped the middle floor. More security, I suppose.
We're listening.
Sure you are. Second floor. Destruction was a little more substantial than I thought. Looks like it tore out a section of the outer wall even. I'm going to get out of here until Engberg can come back again. Engberg. Engberg.
The N may not.
Engberg?
No, the G may not be pronounced.
Enberg? Maybe.
Enberg.
Been a few days, but I'm back. I'm no expert, so I guess I have to trust Enberg. But, ... he says this whole thing is one of the most solid, heavy pieces of construction he's ever seen. It's safe, he assures me. If I die here and someone retrieves this recording, please sue him for me.
He's an American.
Lawsuit. Make some money.
Second floor.
Money.
I want some money.
Second floor looks similar to the first. Outer hall and a number of rooms. Have to remember that very few people probably ever walked these halls. There's no access via elevators, stairs, anything to get here. I assume it had to be done via linking book, which is probably somewhere in the city. I suppose there could be a way to stop those elevators on the middle floor, but I doubt it. Regardless, this floor was extremely secure. Book access only, I'm guessing. Guard lounge. Next to the observation room, at least that's what I assume it was, is what looks like a...
Wait, hold on 1 second. So, does that mean you can link from one place in this world to another
No, you
place
can't.
in the
He's
same-
saying in the city, meaning Denis.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, in the most recent... I haven't finished the book yet. I see no way for Denis to be in New Mexico. For one simple reason. They're tunneling up. On the surface, as best as I can tell, there were Arabians with camels who were praying to Allah. I could be wrong, but I don't think any Muslims made it to New Mexico before the 1800s.
When was New Mexico? Maybe the 1700s?
Well, I mean,
With
you
camels?
had native tribes.
They never made it there
Yeah,
with
you
camels.
never had camels.
Yeah, so...
Not native tribes in New Mexico. Not
Yeah.
Muslim native tribes.
Well, not Muslim, but I'm still saying that were natives.
Oh yeah, natives, but not Muslims that early. I'm trying to think when they could have gotten there first, and maybe late 1700s.
I don't see any way for it to be New Mexico.
No, because 1805 we got Louisiana from Napoleon.
Yeah,
Or was it 1805?
you could have some, theoretically.
on camels.
Not in the
Not-
1800s.
Yes, camels.
And
no.
so I'm saying 1800s. I don't know when Myst took place, but the book revolves around Atris Senior, as in Atris's grandfather. Denis lived to be up to 300 years old.
So we could be looking at like the 1400s. So maybe.
Actually, older than 300 years old. So 300 is pretty old for him.
Okay. I mean, I would think that's pretty
Which
old
again,
for anyone.
they're long-lived. Just more evidence they're dwarfs. I'm just certain that the Denis were dwarfs. Next page.
Their clothes fit us. I already did.
Oh, guard lounge. Looks like they stayed here for long amounts of time. There are beds in here as well as couches. I assume these guys manned the window observation post while visitors were coming in. Guard lockers. More lockers similar to the set downstairs, although these are manned with some heavy equipment. I'm sure Watson will want to see this stuff and keep it locked up well. In fact, I'm not even going to go into detail about it here. Laxman can write all about this stuff in a later report. I will say I don't know that Denis had these kinds of technology.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Gear room. Now I see why this floor was so secure. Looks like the whole power structure for this building is here. Amazing construction. The entire building looks to have been powered by some underground water source that caused it to turn. They implemented a gear that would grab onto teeth in the ground outside and provide them with a power source as well. Talk about killing two giant birds with one stone. Pretty amazing. Power looks somewhat complicated. Seems as though there were at least occasions that power was turned off, as there are obviously controls to do that, and then started again. I'm heading to the top. Top! Wow! I thought this building was big. The main portion is absolutely giant and rotating too, of course.
It's huge.
I'm overcome with the amount of work put into this place just for security. It's everywhere. Almost comical, picturing government officials walking the same paths as I am. Amazing. To get to the other side, looks like one had to walk across the bridge to the rock pinnacle, the first place since we arrived that we're able to save a link, and it's not big, and there's a massive structure facing you, if you did. Pretty funny to try to picture an army invading, all of them bunched up on this stone, waiting for these bridges to rotate. What the? My gosh! The creatures! These things are something out of a horror movie! I've been up here a little while, and I don't see them often, but when I do, they are scaring me to death! I'm beginning to understand the fences and structures a little better. Perhaps some of them were designed to keep creatures out more than keep visitors in. Don't hang out in these woods unless you have a big gun. Another bridge to reach the main portion of this place. More security. I will say that the platform between the bridges seems to have eroded. At one time, the crossing bridge was probably a security feature to ensure manageable groups would approach the larger building one at a time. But I would wager it was still a lot easier than it is now. The erosion of the platform between the bridges has made it a little rougher. I suppose the maintainers would like it even more in its current condition.
I
And they
we
would have
did
just
to
broken
jump.
it. Mud rooms. I'm not sure what to call these things, but they remind me of mud rooms, so I'll call them that. Not much here. Looks like either bridge has a mud room attached. Looks like each bridge has a mud room attached to it, with another group of doors, etc. There doesn't seem to be any kind of decompression or decontamination that went on here. Really, they seem to be nothing more than just another spot for another set of doors, another secure location.
So there's a lot we haven't seen in this place.
Well, no, the entire first half up to this point was the other building, I think.
That we didn't even go in?
No, that we started it.
Oh.
Okay.
So that gear he was talking about is the puzzle we solved.
Alright.
So now we're getting to the building that we're in right now, I think.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I was going to go through each of the rooms here, but after making a quick overview, I think I'll just start with the entire thing. There are 3 types of room in this building, 2 of each kind. There is a control room, 1 purple and 1 yellow, a display room, 1 purple and 1 yellow, and then a conference room. Though these aren't colored, I assume there is 1 for each team. The entire building seems to be centered on the massive wall in the middle. The control rooms control the wall, the display rooms display the uniforms that were worn in the wall, I presume, and the conference rooms allow the government visitors and high-ranking officials to confer about these training walls. C. So control rooms first. I don't know why that word C is there. Control rooms. I'm not going into the controls for the wall in this doc. I'll get Laxman to do that some other time. Regardless, the panel here obviously controls the wall. The walls were used for training as well as testing of various suits. I believe the central room can get pretty hot, cold, smoky, or anything else I can imagine pretty quick. It was a competition. Whoever could get to the top the quickest. Teams would set up the obstacles and members would race. There is a side tunnel that provides access to the display rooms from the control room. Okay.
Has he already talked about the wall somewhere else?
I don't...
Sometimes when you say C like that, it's C the portion about the wall that's already been
Then it might be in the next section. Display rooms. Not sure what these were originally... Not sure that these were originally display rooms, or maybe they were. Either way, there are quite a few old maintainer suits in here. There is also the latest maintainer suit or skin here, I guess. I should say this machine to put on the latest maintainer suit is in here. Okay. Now that we've had some time to look at this, it's incredible. We're talking about a suit that was skin tight, had linking abilities, etc. built in. Very high tech as far as maintainer suits go. Very impressive. A maintainer would fall down the chute, and while traveling to the interior room, the interior room / the wall, the suit would be placed on him. I'm begging to try this thing, but DRC is insistent no one does. Laxman already has someone on it trying to figure out more. I'm first when they do. I think these rooms could basically be described as team locker rooms. Conference rooms. Well, I guess these rooms were where the bigwigs sat down and talked about their maintainers. Obviously, they are set up to watch the wall, and there are displays that show the patterns being built and played on the wall. We'll never know, but I can see the guild masters in here watching their teams compete, preparing to send them out to some radioactive fireball age to see if their suits can stand the elements. Upper portions. I'm not going up now, but we do see the upper portions were used as prison cells. Typical Denis technology. They had a single linking book that went to all the cells. Since the building was always rotating, a very complicated linking apparatus and timing mechanism was associated with the book. The timing of the link would determine which cell the person linked into. Apparently it was very tight. Speaking of linking, this entire building is rotating as well. It seems that most visitors came on the path from the well. Although there were also books directly to this building, there had to be. It seems that many of them also use the timing mechanism to link into the specific rooms. Looks like another new feature designed and built by these guys. One of many, I'm sure. I'm just wondering where the main research labs were. Or better yet, where did everyone sleep or eat? Okay, that's it.
Okay.
So the wall is the big room in the center that they tried to climb up. So in this room, we should be able to see the interior of the space a little bit.
Can you bring the mic back over here?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a moment and call it. We're gonna get stuck in a cell and have to use that very complicated linking system to get out, and that's gonna be our next puzzle.
The linking system is to get in.
I thought they said there was a way to, for getting out and getting through.
That was the system that determined what cell you go into when you link there.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Is the reading over?
Yeah.
Can I wake up now?
Oh, handprint.
Okay. Got it.
Hello.
Hello. Only 2 more.
Why can this world not be done?
Okay.
Well, it looks like we're missing a book here.
Maybe.
Can't sit down. Bet we
What
can
is that?
interact with this.
The building layout?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So
we're in one of the 2 buildings that aren't linked to
Yeah.
anything else.
I would guess we're here.
And
Oh, I thought we were in the conference room at the very top or very bottom.
no, those aren't conference rooms.
What are those?
Because they have links to other rooms. Those are either control rooms or the locker rooms.
Okay.
I think both of these are the locker rooms.
Okay. And he said there was a tunnel to get... I assume we have to get to the middle.
Oh wait,
Take a
no,
picture
I
of
think
that.
these are the where we got the suit.
Okay.
Picture is
So it feels like the square rooms are how we would get in there.
here and here.
Perfect.
Hit the play button.
Oh, that sound. How did I get rid of it? There.
No, did you? I don't think. Did you take it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the?
That's a delete
Play
button,
just
and
moved
that's
over.
to move over. Cool.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to go look at the next conference room.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So we should move 3 rooms over.
Yeah. It's a shame it takes so long to run over there. Yeah. That's
1.
yeah. That's where the old like touch and warp style would be much nicer.
Yeah. 2.
Do 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 do.
3. This is it.
Yay!
We did it.
It's a conference.
Hey, there's another book.
Another
There's
book.
another book.
Wait, don't pick it up yet. Don't pick it up yet.
No.
Look
Okay.
over at that thing first. I'm just curious.
This thing.
No,
There's
this,
that.
This thing.
this thing. What is
Oh, I bet you that controls the room.
it? The
no.
wall.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like we can interact.
It almost looks like a circuit.
Okay. Cool.
You're sitting on
Well, this
So-
that relates to this, I bet.
So there are 2 sides to this giant wall in the middle,
Yeah.
and you'd have teams compete. Interesting.
I hope we don't have to play the part of both teams.
Dear God.
All right. I'm not reading this one.
Alright, fam.
Okay.
The key, or KI, whatever we're calling it. Let me just. How many pages?
Oh,
it's
good.
short.
Whew.
It's short.
Oh wait, take the recorder.
Yep.
The key. Base functions that they need number 3. No. Yeah, 4 hours later. Set this down here. Alright. Do you want me to go fast? I can go fast. Base functions. The D number 3 on the back side of the no, I can't.
Well, there's our opening clip.
Base functions. The D on number 3. The D number 3 on the back side of all of these devices. 3 functions. There's certainly more than that. 3 core functions. In any case, it's a convenient name. KI. Oh, it's the symbol, Josh, for 3.
Kai's. Oh, 3.
Indeed.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
The 3.
No, so
It's,
wait. How?
I think
How-
I think
they
that's
were
what he's
just-
I
saying.
mean, you know, you're right. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the number
Um,
I
3.
thought they were just talking about like Asian mysticism.
The 3.
Nexus interface. Oh, just Star Trek Generations. Nexus interface. The Nexus seems to be just an interpreter for 3 data, or KI data. KIs allow users to provide or decline book access to other KIs. I think we can make this work for neighborhoods as well. Age names defined in the KI appear in the Nexus, or should. Interpersonal communication, obviously the most important function. Voice or text communications to other KI users. Inter or intra age doesn't seem to matter. Image capture. Storage and transfer. A single button press captures an image and stores it within the appropriate age directory. Images can be sent to other KIs as well as uploaded to some imagers depending on versions of the game, perhaps? Could this be the multiplayer way of communicating?
This is how. That's what it is.
Yep.
Seems main servers coordinate this functionality. Too bad the servers won't let us sign up. might be tough to revive or even sign up. Journal entry, storage, and transfer. Fairly simple. Write notes and store them. You can do that on paper. Again, server handles transfer journal, KI to KI, or KI to Imager. What is that on your phone? The Snapchats?
Yeah.
Is that basically what this is?
Sure.
Sort of.
We'll call it that.
Markers. The ability
The other way to describe it would be texting a picture, but you know.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Markers. The ability to drop and collect markers at the operator's present location in an age. Layers of functionality here. Requires more research and more players. Perhaps this feature could be tapped to help with the G2 problem.
That's better than the G3.
That's what I was thinking. Interesting. Doors. In this age, the KI, even at its most basic level, open level 1 doors. Level 2 and 3 doors require higher versions. Okay. There is much more variety to these devices than we first suspected. The dispenser is capable of handing, not hanging. A history joke there. Is capable of handing out at least 5 versions and possibly more. So we can get different versions of this.
We've already run into green doors we can't open. We can open blue doors, though.
So we need to find a
dispenser that gives us another different,
Right.
a different kind.
Yep.
There may have been a system to control and track these devices where. Yeah. Imager built into the unit is surprisingly compact and efficient. Uses the same blasted lattice compression system, for lack of a better word. Have to crack that. Powerful projection for something that fits on top of a hand. I'm just thinking of a phone. Just thinking of a phone here.
Well, so the thing that we have is just a strap or 2 straps that meet in the palm of your hand.
Thinking of Google Glass. Thinking of Google Glass here.
Sure.
It fits over your eyes, like Jordy's visor. More compact.
I was going to say.
Markers. Purpose. Perhaps a training tool for maintainers. Markers could be set up and recruits and or lower ranks run through the ringer. Next page. Run through the... What are they going to be run through? Course. Interface. KIs interact with markers in 3 ways. Team capture. Once all of the markers are placed, there are 2 teams that can collect markers. The KI registers the marker to the respective team. Markers can vanish after a time limit or after all have been registered. Markers must be in the same age. Test. Can markers
I put it back on to
reset?
controller.
Hold.
Oh.
Again, 2 teams. Markers only vanish after a preset time limit has expired. Markers do not disappear upon being activated, although server keeps track of what team is holding it. Server is this capture the flag? Server
Sounds like it.
summarizes team holding most markers at the end of
Yep.
time limit. Markers must be in the same age. Single capture. Only one individual KI can register markers. Markers also carry text. Entire marker set. This is a mini game.
Yeah.
Entire marker set.
They were like, you know
Send
what
back.
our players really want? They really want to play a poorly designed capture the flag, virtual capture the flag with our clunky movement system. That's what they really came
In third
to
person.
Myst. That's what they really came to
I feel
Myst
like
for.
after you do it a couple of times,
Markers
you know the puzzles.
Themselves seem
don't think
identical
they're
to those
puzzles.
produced by the
Well, I
Great
mean,
Zero.
Otherwise, it's going to be real simple to get it.
This is capitalized. This is a thing. Markers themselves seem identical to the those produced by the Great Zero, the big Japanese plane. In fact, I'm positive the same technology is being used, if not the Great Zero itself. It's possible the KIs are communicating with the Zero,
I need
or
a drink.
Zorro. It's not Zorro.
The rest of mine?
Zorro.
Really?
Zero.
Almost already finished
Guys,
the
what?
bottle.
I'm gonna make my daiquiri.
Zero.
Are you?
Zero.
Because I'm a man.
Is it? How do you spell zero?
You mean without a blender? So
Z-E-R-O.
it's
Yeah,
just
okay.
gonna be.
The zero
Sure.
itself, and writing these marks
Okay.
anywhere They are registered. Problem with that theory. Maintainer markers, etc. KI registration. KI tracks of other KIs on 3 levels. Intra-age. Any other KI within the age is logged and displayed. J to KI. Sounds like a chess move. Any individual KI can be registered for specific tracking.
Joshua.
As a result, no matter where that KI, journals, photos, etc. can be sent.
That's like 3 shots.
Etc. KI's journals, photos, etc. can be sent and communication can occur. Perhaps this was used for temporary, semi-permanent team missions. For our purposes, a friends list.
I think I missed something.
Neat.
Yeah, this is really just trying to explain how to play multiplayer. Which, this whole thing is how to play multiplayer with people we don't have.
Which, yeah.
Groups! The KI also recognizes groups somehow related to the Nexus. Seems possible if properly configured to support... Configured! It seems a bit possible! Possibly! Somehow... Hold on, let me think.
Save us.
That's right, kids! It seems possible!
You sound like the worm lady.
No, I was thinking almost like Mickey Mouse!
That's actually pretty close to Mickey
Pretty
Mouse.
close. Oh boy!
Yeah, that's actually really close.
Oh boy! The KI also recognizes groups somehow related to the Nexus. Seems
really
possible,
scaring me.
if properly configured, to support neighborhood lists with this function. Well, that's all, folks.
Blah 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 blah.
Drinking.
Blah 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 blah. That's all, folks.
What the heck?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
drink
need that to
some
be
and then
frozen.
water it down a little bit.
you need that to be frozen. Oh God.
No, I didn't even try it. I just smelled it. It smells like straight alcohol.
Well, it doesn't taste like it. It's just so thick.
We're never.
Why though? But why?
You want to try it, Sam?
No.
Like, it doesn't taste bad. It actually tastes alright.
Yeah,
It's
needs
just-
to be frozen.
It
I
needs
think my
to
tongue
be
is
frozen.
coated now.
Just put some like plastic wrap over it and stick it in the freezer.
And then, yeah.
Why put plastic wrap over it?
If it falls over or like tilts a little bit, that
And
explains
it'll
the
taste
state
like
of your
freezer
refrigerator.
Yeah, and then take a knife to it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's not okay.
So
That
we're
was
going
not acceptable.
nowhere.
He was like, how about put some crushed ice in it? It'll be the same thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, totally
No.
the same thing.
Also, the ice is probably gonna, like the water will separate. You'll get 2 layers. That's
I think
just-
it actually tastes pretty fine.
No, I mean, it tastes fine. It just feels wrong.
Come on, guys, where are we going?